Death and mortality pose an array of philosophical issues. These are perhaps the most difficult philosophical issues to ignore and overlook. Everybody has encountered death, and everybody will one day die. We are forced to contend with this reality, regardless of whether we want to or not. Many dread death. Many view death as the ultimate evil. Here I offer three realities that offer a less pessimistic view. Reality 1. Death is neutral. Many regard death as the ultimate evil. In truth, death is neither good nor evil. Death is neutral. Pleasure is good and pain is evil. Death is the end of sentience and the end of consciousness. Death is the end of pleasure and pain. Death is the end of good and evil. Death is neutral. Death deprives us of pleasure and liberates us from pain. Death is neither good nor evil. Death is the absence of good and evil. Death is neutral. Reality 2. Death made eternal suffering impossible. Sentience is the capacity for pain and pleasure. Sentience is the capacity for suffering. Death represents the end of sentience. Death represents the end of the capacity for suffering. Death made sentience temporary. Death made the capacity for pain temporary. In doing so, death made eternal suffering impossible. We can thank death for the fact that eternal suffering is an impossibility. Thanks to death, neither ourselves nor any of those who we care about will ever be subject to eternal pain. Reality 3. Immortality. We will die, but we will always have existed. What has been will always have been. We will always have our place in the story of humanity. We will always have our place in the fibre of reality. Nothing can ever change that. In our little section of reality, we are immortalized. We will always have our place in this reality. We may be dead, but we will always have existed. Our lives will always have existed. Our existence will always have its place in the story of humanity and the fibre of reality. Nothing can ever change that. At a certain point in time and space, we are immortalized, and no force will ever change that. Death is not something to be desired, but equally, death is not something to be dreaded. These philosophic realities make that clear.